June's PlayStation Plus freebies have been revealed. In North America, you can download Trine 2 Complete Story for PS4, NBA 2K14 for PS3, Sly Cooper Thieves in Time for PS3, Terraria for Vita, and Mutant Mudds Deluxe for Vita. Keep in mind that these games will be available at different times throughout the month, not all at once. I think right now Trine is available. I also didn't mention Pixel Junk Shooter Complete or whatever it's called, which is also free right now.
Is it next month they moved to putting them all out at once?
I guess so, because not all these games are available right now.
All right. Well, Josh writes into beyond at ign.com. It says beyond.
Beyond.
And hello to Greg, Colin, and of course the ever-rotating third chair. I want to know your guys' take on the change to PlayStation Plus free games. Last week, PlayStation announced that they will be removing all of the older games from the service and instead just have 2 games for each platform, PS4, PS3, and Vita, available all month long. I feel like the service, as it existed previously, worked well enough, and this is an unnecessary change that somewhat lowers the appeal of the service overall. So my question to you, do you think this is a step forward or backward?
I agree. I mean, I think it's... when I was reading about it, everyone's like, this is great. And I'm like, what? Like, how is this great? Like, I like the unpredictable nature. Sometimes we get a lot of Vita games. Sometimes we get no Vita games. Sometimes we get a PS4 game. Sometimes we get a PS3 game. And I like how it was released at different times, and they kind of teased it a little bit. But I think this is a result of them probably... I can't imagine they're making money on PlayStation Plus, at least hand over fist. They need to get rid of these old games. They're paying for them. I mean, no one quite understands... I've talked to some people about how it works, and they get these developers get paid for these games, so when a game's free. So if there's 10 free games or 6 free games, I mean, there could be millions of dollars in difference between...
We've asked Sony for them to explain it to us. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, they don't go through that part of the financial business for it. Personally, I don't...
There's always money in the banana stand.
I like the fact that it's going to turn over at a more regular interval. It is supposed to go all live on one day. I know what you're talking about today. I went to the PlayStation Store to get Shooter, and Shooter was up there along with some other stuff that wasn't what they were talking about. You can still get Rainbow Moon. So I'm not sure when the timeline is on when they're changing it all around as far as everything going up, everything coming down. But I like the idea of cycling them in and out. I mean, if anybody who's paying enough attention to be upset about this, you already subscribed to PlayStation Plus, and you were already paying attention to PlayStation Plus. Yeah. So it was more for me that I'd be bored when I jump into PlayStation Plus and be like, oh, here's Uncharted Vita and all these old games that have been there forever, and where's the new stuff? Like, just, it's easier that every month now you just have to be active, and you have to use it, and you have to look for what your benefits are.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is that even if your problem is, just physical storage space, like data space for this stuff.
Just flag them.
Just flag them, exactly. All you have to do is flag them. I mean, you have, basically it's like, hey, here's the new stuff. You have 30 days to flag this. You don't even have to download it. Just flag it.
Yeah, put it in your download list, and that's all you have to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't feel... I feel like maybe people's usage habits are going to have to change a little bit. Like if you've had PlayStation Plus for a while now, you've gotten used to seeing the announcement and then just not doing anything with your life for 2 months.
Yeah,
then you're probably going to be SOL.
But my thing is, I don't think it's a step forward or backward. I think it's a sidestep. It's the same thing. You're still getting 6 games a month, and you just have to be active about it. I know for me, it goes the opposite way of where so much stuff has come up, and it's always staggered now of when it's going live. So I'll be like, at the beginning of the month, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to download that, right? And then I'm traveling that Tuesday that it happens, so I miss it, so I don't even think about it. And then 2 months later, I go in, I'm like, oh, crap, right, that came out. Like, this is like a dump where I know that any time in that month, I can go jump into that dump and put my hands all up in it.
Right?
Yeah, and figure out what pieces, what the nuggets I want out of that dump are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I understand. That's a good way
a raw dump.
Gotta have a raw dump.
Worse and worse. Greg Miller, dump jumper.
Number 10.